Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back. This is the JR Wisdom channel. Once again, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. And if you guys are interested in watching videos about relationships, dating, things of that nature, self-improvement, I invite you to subscribe to my channel along with the bell. That way you receive all the notifications for all of my future videos. So with that being said, let's jump straight into it. So today's topic is I'm going to be talking about why dating is like sales. So I say this for those of you who have been watching my videos. I talk about this often and about it being a process and presenting all of these things forward when you're actually interacting with the person who you're trying to get their attention or get their number, or dating up to the point where you get into a relationship. Some of these things do apply once you get in a relationship, but some of them don't. So I'm just going to cover a few of the things that I've discovered. Most of my life I've been in the military, but now, as a lot of you know, I'm a realtor. So a lot of these things I'm coming across with negotiating contracts. And for those of you who have sales experience, you'll pick up on a lot of these things that I'm talking about. And for those of you who don't, you'll notice as well, you know, based upon your day-to-day interactions with that someone special who you're trying to gain their attention. So with that being said, first thing, like dating being like sales, is that there's a product. That product is you. You're trying to sell this product in essence, whether you're trying to pursue someone or you're trying to get someone to pursue you. So you're that product. You're trying to sell it. You're trying to get this person's attention to purchase this product. So you're trying to put your best foot forward, or your representative in that matter. So how do you go about doing that? You're going to try and advertise, which a lot of us do different ways of trying to advertise, which is what we like to use the term called high value and things like that, or how to be a high value, or how to have a high sexual market value, so to speak, right? And we talk about that a lot and often. So a big thing with sales is the phone calls. The phone calls you're making. A lot of people talk about cold calling. Even with dating, we're talking about cold calling, and it's a numbers game. And a lot of times when you're selling a product, people are inquiring about the product. They want to know what's up. They want to know everything over the phone. They want to talk your ear off over the phone. And a lot of you guys, you're making that mistake of talking on the phone. The phone is not for giving up all your goods on the phone, giving up all the information, because at that point, once you give up all the information, what more use are you to the other person that you're talking to, that you're trying to sell this product to? Same thing with dating. You guys are talking. And when it's all said and done, the lady, she doesn't want to go on a date at that point. This is more so towards the ladies, you know, the guys who are pursuing ladies. The phone and texting is just for setting up dates. That's it. Or meeting up. It's not for, hey, how's it going? What are you doing? What are you doing? All this back and forth, you know, playing volleyball via text and phone call. All of that's unnecessary. You're just trying to set up a date where you can meet up with the person and explain to them more of your product, and whether they, you know, try to get them to close or purchase at that point. Because a lot of times, I know in my business, what I do in terms of credit is people will try to pick my brain. And a lot of you in sales know about this. They'll try to pick your brain, and then they'll go and buy the product from someone else. They got all the information, and they may go and purchase from their friend or someone close to the family. And you just wasted all of your time and energy in this process. And a lot of you guys, you know, you're that shoulder to cry on. You've been friend zoned. She talks and lets off all the negativity that's going on in her day, and you're just absorbing it, you know, agreeing with her, saying that she's not doing anything wrong. And then she goes home and sleeps with the guy who she's complaining about. It happens too often. You guys got to stop that. Either we're going to meet up or we're not. There's no need for all this talking, because all you're going to end up doing is boring the person to death. Cut all that talking out. Setting up dates only. That's what it's about. Saying that when car salesmen, they try to get you in to look at the car. They want to see you face to face. That way they can work their magic. They don't want to do all this talking on the phone. Another thing is, just like in sales, you want to ask questions. You want to talk to that customer. You want to make that customer feel at ease. You want to have that customer talk about themselves, because people genuinely want to talk about themselves at the end of the day. And I mentioned it in my other video about the book by Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence Others, or something like that. I forgot the exact title, but I have the book. I've read it a few times. I just can't remember the exact title. Having someone talk about themselves, have the customer talk about themselves, have her talk about herself, and get, you know, not that basically talk about negative things, but have her tell you about herself. You don't need to do that much talking. And that's how you win her over, and you win the customer over the same way. They tend to tell you about their relationships, everything, you know, and it's the same. People are generally the same in terms of this. So when it comes to this point with sales, there's a part where you negotiate either a price, negotiate a price point, or if they want to basically walk away with this item at the end of the day, or if they don't. A lot of you guys are begging. You're begging for this person to purchase, or you begging for this person to buy it. You begging her to come back to your house, or you're begging her for sex. You're begging her for all these different things, instead of just standing firm on your feet, being solid and centered, and saying that this is what you desire, if that's the case. Or basically you working your mouthpiece to where there's really not too much to talk about, and you know that you're a great catch. Just like this salesman that's selling this product, he doesn't have to do too much talking. He says what it is about the product, and you can take it or leave it at the end of the day, and be willing to unilaterally walk away. The strongest negotiating position is being able to walk away at the end of the day. And it's the same thing as far as someone who may be wasting your time. If a woman's wasting your time talking on the phone, basically devaluing you at the end of the day, and you're sitting there taking it, and because she's a woman, you're just like, well, I'll just let this slide, and so on and so forth. You're not being a man. You're not standing up for yourself, which is what it's all about. And when a woman sees that she can run all over you, it's going to turn her off at the end of the day. You got to be able to stand up for yourself. Even if you don't got a bunch of women waiting on you, you need to act like you got every woman wants you. You have to act like that, even though it's not necessarily true. You have to conduct yourself in that way, and that your time is valuable at the end of the day. You have to be willing to walk away, and at the point where you're being devalued. Same thing with sales. They'll be like, here, take it or leave it. You know, okay, you don't want this car? I got another customer. I got somebody else interested. Hey, I got another appointment coming up. You know, we can continue this later, so on and so forth. A real salesman who's about his business, he's not going to sit there and beg somebody to buy a car. You know what you're doing. You know there's more people coming in to buy. So you just don't have time. You're doing them a favor is how you need to look at it. Not that you're being condescending and treating them like they're less than. But you're a busy individual. You're following your purpose at this point. You don't have time for the foolishness. So with that being said, it's about that scarcity. You present your product as, hey, nobody's going to compare. You're not going to find me on every corner. You're not going to find this product on every corner. You're not going to find my service on every corner. Nobody does it like me at the end of the day. That's how you got to look at it. It reminds me of if you guys ever seen that show Ozark, and I'm going to try to keep this as short as possible. I think it's the first episode on Ozark, where he's basically talking to a client, and the client's on the fence whether they should, I guess, invest in whatever it was that he was selling in terms of stocks or whatever it was he was doing. And his partner basically just walked in and say, hey man, this is the price. We only got like one slot left. You know what I'm saying? I got somebody else that's willing to get it right now. We'll let it go for this right now. If not, hey, we got other stuff to do. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. And basically what that did is that caused that client to pull the trigger, or that customer, excuse me, not a client yet, but a customer to pull the trigger and go ahead and invest at that point. Because he got straight to the point as far as, I don't have time for this. There's a lot more there's a lot of other potential client or customers out there that's willing to purchase my product. And if you're on the fence, you can't see the value of what's going on here. You know what I mean? So that's how you have to be. You know what I mean? All this begging and devaluing yourself and letting others devalue you, nah, it's not going to happen. Another thing is, after the sale or after you close the deal, so to speak, you need to follow up with that client. Same thing with dating. You don't want to just, after you've gotten what you wanted from this person, just completely quit them or let them go. You want to keep them in, as we say in sales, you want to keep them in your sphere. Some of y'all players out there, y'all call them keeping them on your team. I hate to say rotation, because we don't like to, call it that, because that's foul. It's about being cordial. It's about keeping it cool. It's about being cordial. It's about keeping them in the sphere. Check in on them every now and then. Take them on a date, quote unquote, or a coffee date. Follow up. Same thing you do with sales with past clients. Send them a postcard. Do things like that just to keep them on the team, and that's how you get more referrals. That's how you keep them in the sphere. You don't ghost anyone, which is what some guys tend to do. This whole MGTOW mentality or whatever. You pump and dump and ghost and all that. Nah. Because 9 times out of 10, you're gonna want that person again. You're gonna want that client. That client may be able to help you out somewhere down the line. You know what I mean? So don't just go into that whole ghosting thing and basically not talking to that person anymore. It's rude. It's very rude. So don't get caught up in that. Don't ghost anyone. That's if you think you're being cool by doing that. Nah, it's not cool. So ghosting is not about ghosting. It's about no contact. If you're being devalued, unilaterally walking away, that's different from just ghosting. So with that being said, those are my thoughts on how dating is like sales. It's a numbers game for those of you who aren't having success. In sales, we talk to so many people on a daily basis who never pulled the trigger. It's how it goes. Some of us just get referrals nonstop. You just get referrals. Those are the high value salespeople, but not everybody's a high value salesperson. You know what I mean? And you can't exactly correlate that with dating to that point, but a high value person, it's not much talking you have to do. You are that good product. You sell that good product, and that's how you view yourself, and people tend to view you that same way as long as you're conducting yourself in that manner and you represent what it is that you're talking about. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys liked the video, I ask you to go ahead and give it a thumbs up. I also invite you to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, along with the bell that where you receive the notifications for all my future videos. I also invite you to subscribe to my other channels. The links are in the description. And if you have any comments on this video, let me know your thoughts on it. Leave them below. If you have any topics you'd like me to discuss or you're seeking any advice, feel free to email me. The links are in the description. I also invite you to check out these videos that will be popping up on the screen here shortly that's related to this topic. Feel free to click on them to find out more. And with that being said, peace be upon you and the mercy and blessings of the Almighty. And I will catch you guys on the next video. I'm out of here. Peace.